Well, doing something a little different today. Not only different wood, but going to be a different method of turning this. This is a piece of Sequoia. I turned the other half that was cut right here back in September of 2020. It's very pretty wood. I got this from my sister-in-law's neighbor. They live out in the country, and they cut down a couple huge Sequoia trees. The one that this came off of was over 6 foot at the base. It was monstrous. So we're going to do an end grain turning out of this, and it's 7.5 tall and around 8 inches in diameter. I don't need anything close to 8, so I might cut some of the ends off and make it more round. We'll get it mounted up on a faceplate, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've made it a little less oblong. I'm going to start with a spindle roughing gouge, 1.25 inch one, and we'll be doing about 655 RPM. I'm just making an end flat so I can measure from it. I've got a couple dimensions I want to get on there. There's a couple of them I have to try to maintain, and it's all kind of based around something I'm trying here. It's a different way to hollow out a vase. You'll see more of that later on. I'm going to switch to my 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Just going to put a curve on here. I'm seeing that heartwood and I really want to get into it, but I may have to scale everything down just to do that. We'll see how it looks. I'm starting to see the heartwood show up, and that's what I mostly chose this piece for, because that heartwood is really beautiful. I do have to change my shape. I'm taking more away than what I originally drew, but I don't really limit myself to a sketch I make. I watch the wood, and if I need to make a change, I do it. Well, I'd like to get that right up to here if I could. Coming right here. I got some CA in there. I'm going to clean this up again, have a look at it, and I think I'm going to take more off this direction. So I've got this little bar of heartwood, and I can see some of it just barely right there. And when I look on this end, then it gets back to about that wide. That's telling me I need to turn this away. So this is how the shape is being created on this piece. I'm following the heartwood. See that? There it is right there. That means I got to cut some more out of here to get a nice shape. There. I think that's pretty cool. Especially that. I want to get set up and drill some holes in here. And then I can figure out how small to make this. I'm going to start out with a 1¼ inch bit and go down about 4 inches. So I know this is kind of boring, so I'm not going to make you watch it all at regular speed. That hole I just drilled stops right about here, and I've got my live center up against it. I'm going to just finalize this area here, and I'll drill this out so I can hollow it while I still have this holding it together. "775 RPM. Now we've got that nice band of heartwood right there. It's going to be a good contrast. I think that looks nice. And that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and get this finished out to here. And the fun begins. Maybe you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm going to get the inside hollowed out to where I stopped on the outside, and maybe 1/4 to 3/8 wall, doing about 700 RPM. I'll be using 3 different carbides probably. This is the medium size, the little one, and there's this gooseneck one that I made. I don't know if I'll be blocking a lot of it, but I'll try to get set up so you can see it. I'm going to put a little step in here. Well, just for fun, let's see what we have here. That's about a 1/2 inch. So I want to take about half of that off. And I've got a little step right there. I'll show you what that's all about after we get this part done. Well, I guess I better try to make sense of what I'm trying to do here. You might look at this and figure, well, gee, that kind of looks like a little vase of some sorts or a goblet, and this is a huge base on it. Well, this is going to be the top of the turning. I cut this out and hollowed it so I could reach in there. I don't have one of those fancy hollowing devices with the elbows and all that fancy stuff and lasers to show me the wall thickness as I cut it. So I did that where I could reach in here and see it. I just need to turn the rest of the shape on here and cut that off, and we'll turn it around and we're just about done. So this line here represents where the screws are stopping, so I know where they're at, but I think I only need to go to about there. So I'm going to grab my 1/2 inch bowl gouge and we're going to see if we can finish this up. .800 RPM. Yeah, if I keep that knot, I probably want to go farther. I'm going to cut some more off of this, and we're probably going to cut that off. It'll be easier to get it finished. First, I'm going to put some CA glue in there, though. I used some of the brown Starbond CA here. Before I put that on, I put a coat of Shellac sanding base sanding sealer on there. That kind of helps to keep it from staining the wood. There's the hole. Okay, I just sawed it off, and the only thing I got to do now is finish the shape here. Here's where I hollowed it out from this end, and I left a little shelf. I can glue a disc on there for the bottom. I have a place here where the jaws can expand to. The thing of it is, these are too small to reach that, and my larger jaws are too big. So I'll use the little straight area right there on the jaws. I think it'll work just fine. So let's get it mounted up and see how it runs. That's not bad at all. Okay, I got this blended in pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and start sanding it with 120, and I'll sand it through 400. I want to get one coat of sanding sealer on it, and then I'm going to call it a night because it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to sand in reverse at about 350. Alright, time to get that first coat of finish on. I think this is going to come to life. Yeah, look at that. Very interesting. So some strange coloration coming around the heartwood and the sapwood. It really looks pretty cool. Got a hole right in there and I'm going to leave it. The knot fell out. Alright, that's it. I'm going in. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, here it is. I think it is a beautiful piece of Sequoia. Just look at the colors in that. Look at the contrast where it goes down into that sapwood. Almost looks like this is melting and just dripping down into there. I like that. I think it's pretty cool. One of these spots, yeah, this is really nice here. One of these right there, that was a knot and it came out and I like it. It looks pretty cool. Finished 5.5 inches tall. It's 4.5 right here and it's about 1.25 inches right at the top. And I turned that down to 3/32 of an inch. I didn't have any kind of fancy hollowing where I could go in there and do this, you know, with the lasers, the cameras and all that. So I hollowed it from this side and I got it down to 1/4 inch. And I still had to finish this end, so I turned the recess in here, grabbed it in my chuck, and then I finished it. And it actually worked out quite well. Am I going to leave it like this? Nope. I turned a little disc out of the same wood. That goes in there like so. I used Zinsser Seal Coat for the sanding sealer. That's a shellac based. And I decided I wanted this to be kind of shiny just because of all this grain and because to me it looked like it was melting down into here. So I used Minwax Wipe-On Poly and I think it looks great. And I probably put maybe 5 applications, but I put it on really thin and I wipe it down. I didn't do anything. I didn't buff it out. This is how it turned out. Really happy with it. Had a lot of fun making this and I sure hope you enjoyed the video. So I'm standing here watching this spin around on the turntable and I've just got to say I just love the color of this and how it looks as though it's just kind of melting down into the base of it. I just absolutely love it and I sure hope you did, and if you did, leave a comment and click that like button. I'd love to hear from you. So till the next time, see you later.